G'day folks, 2/3 of the season have now gone. We are 12 weeks gone, 6 weeks left. The season is fast disappearing. Finals are on the horizon and we are excited about that. Unfortunately tonight, I am the only host here. Tony has left me high and dry. I'm going to try and work through the show by myself. My name is Sean Jackson. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate you tuning in. Got some interesting guests tonight. This is NAIDOC week, and so we've got a couple of clubs that are celebrating that this week. Salisbury North in Division 2 and Central United in Division 6. We've got some guests coming in from both of those clubs to tell us about what that means to their club. We'll also do the normal Division 1 wrap. We did have John Giannini, the captain of Paynham, lined up to come in. He has left me, like Tony, high and dry. I feel like, to some extent, the jilted bride at the altar, but we'll get through it. What else have we got? We've got a preview of next Saturday's games, and we've got the mark and the goals of the week. And let me tell you, we commentated last week at PAC versus Port Districts, and there were a couple of ripping marks out of that game that could well be the contenders for Mark of the Year. So whatever you're doing, folks, grab yourselves a drink, strap yourselves in. We've got a show for you.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks Tony, nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be a, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Well folks, sometimes footy plays second fiddle to what's happening off the field, and this Saturday is a really special occasion out at the Salisbury North Football Club. Yes, they're playing the Unley Jets. Yes, it's an important game in terms of the season, but it's important for a host of other reasons. They are celebrating Indigenous Round this week, and joining me is the football director, David Hood, and the coach, Eugene Warrior. Thanks, boys, for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
How are you feeling about this Saturday?
Really excited.
Yeah. So, tell the folks at home, first of all, when did the idea come up? This is the first time you've ever celebrated Indigenous Round. Whose idea was it?
I'll say me. Is that right, Dave?
No, it was Eugene.
Right.
As you know, Eugene has got on board this year as our coach.
Yep.
And he spoke to me at the start of the season. He said, I think we should do something with an Indigenous Round, seeing the footy club had never done one, and it was just a fantastic idea. And now it's just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to be an amazing day on Saturday.
Mate, it's all I'm hearing out on the streets. The lunch, talk me through the lunch first of all, because I'll be there for a free feed, Hoodie. What's the lunch look like? Who's the guest speakers and who are the guests?
Well, I can name a few guests, and I'll pass on to Eugene to finish them off, but our MC for the luncheon is none other than Barry Curtin.
Right.
State MPs for lunch, and also local government, including both the Mayor of Salisbury and the Deputy Mayor of Salisbury. We're also having...
You're going to have to watch your P's and Q's, Hoodie.
I'll behave myself. And also we've got the CEO of the City of Salisbury coming along. Wow. And now I'll hand over to Eugene and he'll...
Yeah, look, so obviously the whole concept for Indigenous Round, as Dave said, sort of stems back. And if we go back a little bit further, we've had a long and distinguished representation of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders that have come through that football club. I think around about 55, 56 past and present players have come through, and off the back of that, we've had 6 players that have represented Salisbury North at the grassroots level that's gone on to play in the AFL. I'll quiz you on that later.
Yeah.
That has, between the 6 AFL, or 6 Aboriginal players that have represented the club, it's been 801 games, 5 premierships, 7 All-Australians, Team of the Centuries, All-Australians, like best and fairest premiership players at Port Adelaide. So
you're talking 2 of those are probably in the Team of the Century?
Yes, one Michael O'Loughlin and Gavin Wayne. So yeah, we've so when you think about it from a little pocket, at Salisbury North, I think you know, it's a magnificent achievement that club's actually had, and you know, hence the reason why we wanted to have Indigenous round to certainly promote and acknowledge the contribution that the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander footballers have played, not only with the footy club but also with the community as well. So obviously Michael and Gavin are going to be present there on the day.
Calling the game with me, I believe, Hoodie, is that right?
We're hoping so, yes.
So we've got a couple of others. So we've got Tanya Hosh from the AFL, who's going to be present. The Aboriginal Affairs Minister, the Honourable Kyan Ma, will be in attendance as well. So, you know, obviously Dave was trying to get all these big wigs, so I thought I've got to try and match him, and I hope I have. But look, it's certainly going to be a great day. We've got an elders lunch. We've got a welcome to country ceremony out in the Oval as well. So certainly looking forward to it. And I guess from my end, trying to organise this, ideally we just need to have a win as well.
Yeah, we'll talk about the footy stuff in a minute, because I know that's not secondary to you, Eugene, but I think sometimes footy, as I mentioned in the intro, gets pushed to the side a little bit on days like this because it's so important. What do you do in terms of education for your players during the week? Is there anything done? Do you talk about the history of the Indigenous boys at the club?
We haven't as yet,
right?
But we are this week.
Okay.
We're certainly going to not give them a lesson, or it's just more around the contribution that you know, the past players and certainly the current players have played within our football club. But you know, probably more so Thursday night we'll just have that conversation, and by the time they see everyone there, and you know, they'll understand, okay, we're getting past players back, and you know, hopefully that contribution will be, you know, they'll be able to see that and wear that with pride on Saturday. So we're reaching out, hopefully far and wide, for all our community to jump on board, not just the Aboriginal community, but for everyone. We want to try and fill the Salisbury North Footy Oval as much as we can, and make it an enjoyable experience for everyone.
Sounds like it's going to be a great day. So talk me through the lunch. Starts at 12.
Certainly.
What else happens?
Lunch will go between 12 to 1:30.
Will Eugene be allowed to sneak in for a quick sausage, or no?
No. There would be, of course, with the MC, there'll be a few speakers. I think Tanya Hosh from is speaking.
Okay.
The Honourable Kyan Ma.
Our Attorney General.
Yes.
Kyan Ma, yeah. So yes, and hopefully that we might get the opportunity in that time to speak to a couple of past players of the elders, and also maybe to even talk to Mick and Gav quickly. So that's the plan for the luncheon, and then it's out for the welcome to country.
So will there be a delayed start to the game, a later start?
Yeah, we're starting the C grade at 10 o'clock, the B grade at 12 o'clock, and then the A grade will start at normal time, so it gives us a little bit of room to move with the...
Well, tell us about the Guernsey, Eugene. Who designed it?
The actual current playing group actually designed that. It's going to get revealed on Thursday night at the club.
Right.
So the playing group, you know, through their wisdom and their knowledge, obviously designed the jumper and put through a nice piece. I won't tell you too much more about it, other than every past player and current player's name that's actually played A-grade footy is actually inscribed into the jumper. So
fantastic.
Yeah, and given that it's our first one, you know, we hope that it's a success, and then we can go from...
Will you auction them off at the end of the game? Is that part of the deal?
I think that's the part of the plan that Dave's got.
Yes, it's part of the plan, but we've also, because we've got 3 sets, C grade, B grade and A grade, have all got Indigenous Guernseys. We're lucky enough to have 3 sponsors.
That's lucky enough to be a wealthy footy club, because no other club's done that. Everyone only just gets the A grade.
We're the first.
We are the first, Jacko. So yes, we're going to auction some jumpers, but we're going to give the players opportunity to purchase them.
Right.
And again, we're quite lucky to have 3 sponsors purchase the Guernseys for us.
Right, okay. Now I've got to ask Eugene a couple of footy questions while he's here, Hoodie, so if you could just be quiet for a couple of minutes. Eugene, just tell us about the season. Where are you at? How important is this game in the context of your season?
Very important, mate. You know, we're obviously sitting 9th, which is not an ideal spot, but, you know, from week to week you see the growth and development of the players that are coming through. So we're a very young group. We're playing at times we've got a 16, 17-year-old playing when he's not at Central Districts. We've also got, so the average age is around 21. We've got another couple of 18, 19-year-olds in the side as well. So, we're getting better. I feel as though that, that first probably 5-6 weeks wasn't as what I expected. And I guess the players put that massive expectation on themselves. They're strong enough and resilient enough to actually play the game, but I think they just need to go that extra step. And it showed on Saturday when we played Broadview. We were leading at quarter time, but we weren't able to sustain that. And whether that's just from my end, it's just more that inexperience and just got overawed, I think, by the situation. But I said to them after the game, they're a great side. They'll probably end up winning the flag this year. Yeah. And we just need to be able to compete and be able to bring that energy every week. So, but we're coming along okay. We've had a good win against North Haven, and unlucky for us, we actually lost 2 consecutive games in a row by a point. So we didn't lose; we just ran out of time. I feel.
That was an interesting story. Hoodie told me that during the week. You lost 2 in a row by a point, and then when McIntyre kicks the goal, had he missed, you would have lost 3 in a row by a point.
That's right.
Someone's walked under a ladder or something, haven't they? Yeah. How is McIntyre? Has he come back to earth?
I haven't seen him since he's all right. He's got a pretty heavy job. He's a furniture remover, so he's always all over the place. But his endeavour and his 10 on the ball is just first class. But he's a pretty level-headed young man. He doesn't really talk about it too much, and unless someone brings it up, and it's just stock standard for him. So he kicked another couple of goals in the weekend, which is good. But yeah, look, we've got a good group there, and all we need is just to have that bit of continuity and to be able to keep that consistency going.
So there it is, folks. Big weekend for Salisbury North on and off the field. Promises to be a beauty. 3 games all being live streamed. The A grade will be commentated. It's going to be the first Indigenous round for probably, without doubt, the club that has given more AFL representation from the Indigenous community than anyone else. So it's going to be a ripping game. I'm really looking forward to the day as well, particularly knowing that Salisbury North host better than anyone else in the competition. Hoodie's always got a beer ready to go, which I'm looking forward to. And boys, thanks for coming in. I hope you have a fantastic day.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for having us, Jack.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back, folks. Going to have a look now at the Division One roundup. BuddyBet is the sponsor there, and let me tell you, there's some cracking games on the weekend in Division One. We keep banging on about it each week, I know, and it sounds like a broken record, but we were lucky enough to have the broadcast game on the weekend, Port Districts versus Prince Alfred. It was a 3-point margin. I've got to say, for the young coaches out there, it did appear for a while that the coaches had coached the teams to kick across the ground, because very little scoring done early, but the last quarter was absolutely thrilling. Prince Alfred hit the front with probably a minute to go, I think, through Lockie McNamara, the captain, and then the ball went down the other end from the centre bounce. Jack Gaffney, experienced player from Port Districts, kicked a goal to bring them back in front, and they won by 3 points, and they hold their place on top of the ladder. And what a game that promises to be this coming week against Goodwood Saints at Port Districts. 1 versus 2 on the ladder. Well, let's have a look at the other game. St Peter's took care of Teatree Gully. Big Jock McClay, great to have him back, I would have thought, for St Peter's. He kicked 5. For Brighton Bombers, 12-10 took care of Payneham, 5-7. They're in a bit of pain at the moment, Payneham, and it's going to be a bit of battle from them from here on in, I think. Goodwood Saints beat Old Ignatians by 24 points. Good to see the 2 ruckmen. Last time we called this game, it was Old Ignatians' first win in Division 1, and it was a thrilling battle in the ruck. Tommy Carter versus Braden de Prince. And we didn't call this game on the weekend, but if you look at the best players, you'll see Tommy Carter 3rd best for Goodwood Saints and Braden de Prince best for Old Ignatians. So that would have been an old-fashioned duel worth the money alone, and it's free to get in. The last game is Ross Trevor versus Glenunga. We're going to put some stats up on the screen now, and I just want to go through a few things that are of interest here. Ross Trevor scored 13 goals, 6 to Glenunga, 9-16. So 25 scoring shots to Glenunga versus 19 to Ross Trevor. I think this could well be a season-defining game for Glenunga. This could be the one that comes back to haunt them, because if we look at the total stats, yes, they had more of the ball, not by a lot, 225 to 221. Kicks, 150 to 168, so a little bit behind on kicks, but effective, nothing in it. They certainly handled the ball more than Ross Trevor, so that suggests to you that Ross Trevor are certainly more efficient with the ball, but it's the inside 50s that tell the story. Glenunga 48 inside 50s, which is a reasonable total, versus only 35 from Ross Trevor. So Ross Trevor managed to score 13 goals from 35. That's about 33%, so that's terrific. Obviously, Glenunga weren't able to curtail Nick Murphy. He back into the side, made a massive difference, kicked 7 goals. When Murphy plays and Fantasia plays, the Ross Trevor side looks a lot different. So you look at the tackle count again in favour of Glenunga, 70 to 45. Clearances, there was nothing in it, but the tale of the game for me, not having seen the game live or watched it on tape, but the tale is the inside 50 count, 13 more for Glenunga, and they lose the game by 14 points. Inaccuracy, good sides, kick goals. They've got some work in front of them. Let's have a look at this week's games, because we've got some absolute beauties. I mentioned already 1 versus 2. That'll be at Port Districts. At the other end of the table, Ross Trevor, 9th on the ladder, are playing Teachie Gully 8th. Now, Teachie Gully need to get a rig along. They're struggling a bit at the moment, and the way they're headed, this game is going to be crucial to... This is almost a double point game. The side that loses this is going to be in real jeopardy of going down. One thing I'll say, at the bottom of the ladder, we have 3 sides in Division 1. Take away Paynham. The next 3 sides, I beg your pardon, the next 4 sides, Prince Alfred, Old Ignatians, Teachie Gully and Ross Trevor, are separated only by percentage and are on 5 wins. I think this year you're going to need to win at least 7 games to avoid relegation. So that's 2 out of the last 6. My advice to those 4 clubs is pick the 2 you think you can win and make sure you win those 2 games. Make sure you've got your best players playing those days. Back from injury, make sure you win those 2 games, because you're going to need to win at least 7 and maybe even 8, which would be unheard of to avoid relegation. So Brighton are playing Glenunga. That's 4th versus 5th on the ladder at Brighton. Glenunga will want to bounce back after the disappointment of their loss to Ross Trevor. Old Iggy's 7 are playing Paynham 10 at Karen Rolton Reserve. St Peter's and PAC will play at St Peter's in a clash of the colleges. Once again, folks, a terrific round of footy in Division 1, one to look forward to.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Folks, one of the really good things about the Adelaide Footy League is the nomination of certain games for specific reasons. And this week is NAIDOC week. And in Division 6, Central United have taken the initiative by inviting Para Hills to contribute and play in a game which is significant to both of those clubs. And joining me now is Daryl McIntyre, who's the B-grade coach at Central United. Welcome, Daryl. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Good, mate. And Scotty Charlton, who's the president of Para Hills. How are you, Scotty?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming in, boys. How excited are you both to be playing this game on Saturday?
Yeah, well, we're certainly thankful to be invited to be part of it, and thanks Central United for that. And looking forward to getting out there with them and helping them to celebrate their cause.
So the game is at Central United, but you both have had Guernsey's designed for the occasion. Scott, show us your Guernsey and tell us about it, mate. Who designed it?
So that's our Guernsey. I'm not sure if you can see that all right, but we've got an association in the prisons through our U-Turn Foundation, which looks to employ people incarcerated on their release and hopefully turn their lives around.
Wow, what a great initiative. How long have you been doing that?
Probably about 2016, I think that started.
That's fantastic.
Through our construction work with Mossop and so forth in the prisons.
Yep.
So when this opportunity came up, we asked the women of the Indigenous women of the Adelaide Women's Prison to put some designs together for us.
Create a competition, did you?
We did create a competition.
Right, okay.
And we had about 8 or 9 entries, and this one was the winner, which we find an outstanding design. So we're really proud of what's been done, and we're really thankful for having it done for us.
Oh, it's terrific, mate. Now, is there any specific tie into the Mental Health Breakthrough Foundation on your Guernsey as well?
Certainly is. We were doing this Guernsey anyway with Breakthrough, looking to fund research into Indigenous mental health. So this was already in our thoughts, so to be asked to be part of this day was just a marriage made in heaven. And as you can see, you've got the purples and the blues, which are Breakthrough's colours, which are strong in the design that's been provided. So that was pretty much one of our only parameters, was to keep the V and have the colours of Breakthrough in the purple and the blue. So
now, I'm assuming it's only in the A grade that the Guernseys get worn, is it? Or is it?
For us it is.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm not, so, yeah.
And what happens to the Guernseys after the game? You auction them off?
Our Guernseys are being auctioned off back in the club rooms at presentation and that sort of stuff to open the variety out for everyone, and obviously there'll be some sort of donation going back to as well. So.
Right, we'll get Jamie Lane on in a minute, who designed your Guernsey, to talk about the specifics of your Guernsey. But what are you doing during the week to bring focus to this amongst the players? Anything specific in terms of Indigenous awareness, training? Is there any ceremonies that are occurring on the day that people need to be aware of?
We've got our smoke ceremony obviously happening to start with, which Jamie's organised that as well, but we're hopefully trying to find someone that can play a bit of didgeridoo.
Right, can't help you there.
But then if that happens, obviously Jamie's nephews and cousins and all that will do a bit of a dance for us as well.
Okay.
So start it all off properly. And
expecting a pretty big crowd then, I would imagine?
Well, yeah, with everyone else playing on the Saturday as well, doesn't help that situation, but I reckon the crowd will still be out firing and up and about. So
now, your boys are obviously travelling pretty well, and not so much for the Para Hills boys, but what I've noticed in these games, the scoreboard almost becomes irrelevant. The occasion or sense of occasion overrides what actually happens on the footy field. Is that how you guys feel about it?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Like, everyone tries to get in the spirit a bit and help each other out. Rosewater had their Indigenous Saturday against us as well, and they actually did the full painting on the oval, which we'll be doing that as well.
Okay.
But everyone wrapped around them. All the Aboriginal boys, they tossed the coin together. They did everything as one group, and it was fantastic.
And is there a fair few Indigenous playing for both clubs?
I think we've got 5.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, we wouldn't be far away from that number.
Right. Okay. Yep. Well, Scotty, I must say your club has been at the forefront of mental health for a few years now. I really admire what you've done. Recently I was out at your club for a mental health Tackle Your Feelings seminar run by the SNFL. So you've certainly been at the forefront of providing some education for your players. So that on top of your stuff you're doing in the Indigenous space is terrific, mate. So well done to your club. And Daryl, for your club, mate, what a great day. I know you boys are travelling well, you're 4th on the ladder. But what an occasion to just start moving you as you head towards to finals.
Yeah, start moving forward in the right direction and give us a real good chance and a real big crack. So.
All right, boys. Well, thanks very much for coming in. I hope it's a ripping game on Saturday. I know we are calling the game, so let's hope it's a close game. Let's hope Para Hills get a couple more points this week, and more importantly, let's make sure everyone enjoys the occasion and understands the significance of the day. So, thanks, boys, for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I guess, folks, one of the real thrills in footy or being involved in a footy club must be being asked to design a Guernsey. And not too many people that I know have had the honour of being asked. But, well, Jamie Lane from Central United has certainly had that honour bestowed upon him this year. How do you feel about being asked to design a Guernsey, mate?
It was good. Haven't done one before. We've done it when we was kids and stuff like that, but yeah, to be asked to do it was a good honour.
So you're an A-grade player at the club. You've been there for a long time?
It's my second year. I played my juniors there.
Okay.
But yeah, I've come back.
So tell the folks at home that have got no artistic skills like me, what's it like when you sit down and try and design a Guernsey? Where does it start?
I was just so I went to New South Wales for Christmas with the father-in-law, and he does a lot of paintings and stuff like that. So I was just sort of looking at some of his stuff and sort of just clicked to me. I just started painting on the canvas and yeah, it just come up nice.
Yeah. So, folks, we can't reveal it on the show tonight because it's going to be a bit of a surprise out at Central United on Saturday. It's going to be a big day. There's a smoking ceremony. There's going to be a lot of people there. But you certainly will show some footage of it. The game is being live streamed, so if you can't get to the game, I suggest you tune in and watch the live stream because it's going to be a ripping game. Jamie, what happens to the Guernseys after the game?
They'll get auctioned off after the game with DJ. He's the main provider for it.
Right, so what sort of money are we expecting to get for them, mate? Can I put a bid in now?
I won't be on there.
I've seen the design, folks. I'm keen to put it...
I can't, whatever people want to go on the night, really.
Oh, come on, Daryl. No. Give me something. No. So you're on the B-grade coach. You're also the auctioneer?
Yep.
Is there anything else you're not... Is there anything you're not doing out at Central United?
Playing footy.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
Well, listen, boys, we appreciate you coming in. I hope it's a fantastic game. Great cause. And I know there's a lot of people that are excited about it. So let's hope it's a terrific day and it all goes off well and keep your season travelling along nicely. I know you're going pretty well sitting in fourth spot. So a big day from a winning perspective as well. So thanks, boys, for coming in.
No worries.
No, you're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a one-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
All right, folks, welcome back. Let's go around the ground now and have a bit of a review. It's easy for me to say, I know, a review of Division 2 right through to Division 7. We'll start at Division 2, which is the Breakthrough Mental Health Round. Division, I should say. Athelston unveiled their new facility on Saturday. Apparently the crowd was unbelievable. Well, they turned it on. 17 goals, 12, beat Henley 8 goals, 7. Stepic and Randy kicked 4 goals. I see Sam Danielle, Little Wazza, was best player, but my mail is the facility there is first class. Now, the word is they've been searching for a name for the new clubhouse, and they have got one, and I just can't think what it is. It was given to me today. The Resort. The Resort. That's how nice it is, they reckon, at Athelston. Did have a complaint from Henley, or someone involved with Henley, said that the coach's box is a bit difficult to view the game from, so maybe something that needs to be addressed there. But the facility in the main is absolutely first class and sets a benchmark for the rest of the clubs to try and get to. And we did see a story on the Sunday Mail, about the fact that there is a real lack of ovals around Adelaide now, so clubs are really struggling to find oval space. All right, let's have a look at the other games. North Haven beat Adelaide University by 1 point. That keeps their finals chances alive. Had they lost that, they might have been in trouble, North Haven. Their form has dropped off in the last month or so that was a terrific win for them. Sandico kicked 5 for them. Foss Camden beat Unley Mercedes Jets. This must have been a good game. This was only by 8 points. See, Declan Grant kicked 4 goals. Once again, that keeps Foss Camden's chances of playing finals footy alive. And Broadview, 13 goals, 22, defeated Salisbury North, 4 goals, 10. I see Nick Little, next South Adelaide player, best. But I do note that Nathan Gordon, who is widely recognised as the best player in the competition, has left Broadview and returned to his own club in the middle of the season. But they have picked up Jesse White, ex-Glenelg, and played in the AFL as well. And he played his first game on the weekend against Salisbury North and kicked 2 goals. Sacred Heart, they go about their winning way. They kicked 17 goals, 21 to Gazers, 4 goals, 8. So big margin there. That is Division 2. Division 3, Sip and Save. What caught my eye there? I'll tell you what caught my eye there. Scotch Old Collegians, 9 goals, 10 beat Seaton Ramblers, 8-8 margin, 8 points. Now that's, once again, possibly a season-defining game for Seaton Ramblers. They are well and truly locked in that battle to try and avoid relegation with Scotch. So crucial win by Scotch. CBC, good win for them against Morphy Parks. Every other game went as you would expect. Hardy from Flinders Park kicked 5, and that's probably all I've got to note. 9 News, Division 4, Hope Valley, 26 goals, 8, beat Pulteney 13-17. Good to see Pulteney get 30 scoring shots. One of a couple of sides yet to win a game. So obviously had a bit of trouble controlling Nobes. He kicked 10 goals for Hope Valley on Saturday, so a terrific effort there. Walkerville beat Portland by 5 points. Portland just outside of the 5 at the moment. I reckon they'll get there. They've just got too much talent at the top end. Mitcham, 8 versus 2, took care of Pembroke, and that's probably the story of the round in Division 4. Pembroke, well, they've lost a couple in a row now. They were sitting pretty on top. I think they've now dropped to 4th, and that's a game you would have expected them to win, and they lost by 8 points to Mitcham, who was sitting 8th on the ladder. So that's a bad loss for Pembroke. But don't worry, it's not all bad, because my man kicked 3 goals for Pembroke, so keep it going, Alex Forster. Kenilworth took care of Paraka by 9 points, and Plympton, that's the big result of the weekend. Plympton, 20 goals, 12, beat Woodville South, 3 goals, 5. Must have been a tough day for the Woodville South boys. All right, let's move along to Division 5, which is the Wakefield Sports Clinic division. Elizabeth took care of St Paul's, no surprise there. Hectorville beat Salisbury. The big disappointment there was Hectorville 17-13 beat Salisbury 2 goals, 6. So massive margin, 15 goals. A little bit like Pulteney, Salisbury, they've yet to win a game, but unlike Pulteney, who scored 13 goals and actually had some enjoyable footy moving into the front half of the ground, Salisbury only managed to kick 2 goals, 6. Lockley's big winners over Colonel Light Gardens. Johnson kicked 7, Harron kicked 5. Blackfriars took care of Kilburn, no real surprise there. Velotti got 6 for Blackfriars, and Jeps Cross beat Eastern Park convincingly, with Hampton kicking 5 goals. So that's Division 5. Whew. Normally I get a break here. Division 6 is the O'Neill's Sportswear division. What took my eye there? I'll tell you what took my eye. Miller kicked 6 goals for Fitzroy, 18-15. They beat Brahma Lodge, 8 goals, 10. Not a great day for Fitzroy. One of their old coaches, Lindsay Bassani, finds himself in a little bit of trouble with the law and will be doing a stretch inside. So that's disappointing to see. Trinity took care of Para Hills. The amazing thing here, folks, Trinity, top of the ladder, 37 goals, 20, beat Para Hills 1 point. That must have been a tough afternoon for those at Para Hills. Barilla kicked 14 in the most of anyone in any division on Saturday in the Adelaide Footy League. Walling kicked 6 and Puvergill kicked 4. West Croydon took care of Ingle Farm convincingly, and Rosewater beat Central United. That is Division 6. 1 division to go. Division 7, CMAX Clinical Research. Who won there? Hackham. Well, they took care of Mitchell Park by 6 goals. Houghton defeated Mawson Lakes. That one there caught my eye as well, because Houghton scored 16-15. Mawson Lakes 2 goals, 6. Martin kicked 5 for Houghton. Flinders Uni, the Crabs, they took care of O'Sullivan's beat Lonsdale. This was clearly the match of the round in Division 7. The margin, 2 points. And the final game, I should say, in Division 7 was Greenacres versus Adelaide Lutheran. And Greenacres, well, they're just going about their business. They're sitting on top of the ladder, and they weren't troubled by Adelaide Lutheran. Folks, I'm going to need to get a drink and have a break after that. That was Around the Ground.
Well, good day, footy fans. My name is Phil Herden. Welcome to the segment, the Women's Wrap. A look at all the results across every game in women's footy in the Adelaide Footy League. The finals are just a few weeks away. Every game is starting to matter. This segment, of course, is brought to you by CMAX Clinical Research. If you're thinking about participating in a research trial, you can learn more about it by jumping onto their website, cmax.com. Let us begin with the Powerade Division 6 competition, and the 4 is set. That was after Edwardstown defeated Rosewater by 28 points. Modbury locked in their final spot, 14-point winners over Loreto, and Adelaide Uni ended Athelston's run with a 36-point victory. Marion had the bye. The ladder showed Edwardstown. They've locked up top spot. The battle is for second between Modbury, Marion and Loreto. Adelaide University are 2.5 games back. The problem is there's only 2 games left. Rosewater and Athelston bring up the remainder of the field. The run home, well, you can see now a 5-point gap with just 2 games remaining. The battle for second, will Modbury really have to beat Marion this week? If Marion win, and Loreto possibly, because they're playing the bottom 2 sides, or 2 of the teams out of the finals. So Modbury have destiny in their hands this week. Then they've got to sit back and see what Marion and Loreto do. If Modbury don't win this week, they'll begin the elimination final, or the knockout final. Rosewater the bye this week, Modbury in the final round, round 14. The matches this week in the Powerade Division 6, it's a 14-round season. Modbury and Marion, critical game for second spot. Adelaide Uni host Loreto. Athelston host Edwardstown. The Doggies of Rosewater with the bye. To the Safety Hub, Division 5, Fitzroy. This is an upset. The Roys, I think, have won 3 in a row, or 3 of the last 4. Once they got winning, they liked it, and they won a fair few more, beating Eastern Park by 14 points. Kilburn kept North Haven goalless, and Woodville South beat Elizabeth. What did that mean for the 5? Well, Kilburn jumped over North Haven in that process. Eastern Park leading Woodville South. And Woodville South not quite securing the double chance just yet, but they and Elizabeth are certainly finals bound. Fitzroy, Kilburn, and yes, even North Haven still have a shot at the finals. Now, this is a 15-round season because we've got 8 total competitions. 4 will play their grand final on August 6th, 4 on August 13. Those that are playing the later grand final either have a final 5, or in the case of Division 5, a 15-round season. So time enough now for North Haven if they're good enough. Their problem is they play the top 3 teams. Fitzroy and Kilburn in the final round 15 might decide who plays finals. Woodville South and Elizabeth, look, they pretty much play similar teams. Woodville, to be fair, Woodville South have the easier run home to lock up second spot, and they really only need to win one of those final 3 to do so. The games this week, Woodville South and Fitzroy, probably should be a bit closer than the win-loss indicates given the Roy's recent form. Elizabeth, you think, would be heavy favourites against North Haven, and Eastern Park will be on the rebound hosting Kilburn. To the Villiers Bakery, Division 4. Jeps Cross over Hectorville, key win there. Pembroke shut out Glenunga by 80. Pulteney over Lockleys by 32. Ingle Farm helping their finals chances, beating West Croydon by 46. The ladder, Pembroke and Jeps Cross tied on top. Pulteney from Hectorville 3rd and 4th. Pulteney still a chance at top 2, but need Pembroke or Jeps Cross to slip. It's a Hectorville, Ingle Farm and Lockleys probably for the last finals berth. West Croydon would need a lot to go their way with just the 2 weeks left, and Glenunga have been out of contention for some while. The run home, let's have a look, for example, that battle for 4th. Hectorville have West Croydon and Pembroke. Ingle Farm have Pembroke and Pulteney. might just come down to percentage between those two. Lockleys have got to beat Jeps Cross and Glenunga and hope that both Hectorville and Ingle Farm drop a game somewhere along the way. The games this week in the Village Bakery Division 4, West Croydon host Hectorville, Lockleys host Jeps Cross, Ingle Farm and Pembroke must win for the Farmers at Roe Park, and Glenunga will have their hands full with third place Pulteney. Nine News Division 3, and here Golden Grove beat Mitcham by 17, Goodwood Saints by 27 over Hope Valley, Flinders Park 13 over Kenilworth, and Brighton Bombers kept Scotch Old Collegians both winless and Saturday goalless, just the one behind there. Leaves the ladder, and this is a league that's going the extra week to August 13th, so there's a final 5. Goodwood Saints have the minor premiership sewn up. Golden Grove, with 2 weeks left, can't see them losing second. Flinders Park and Brighton Bombers. So in the final 5, it's the third spot with the double chance that's really key, just separated by percentage. Hope Valley should play finals, although Kenilworth and Mitcham not done just yet. And Scotch, they'll be hoping for just to get a win before the season, and they're going to have their hands full. Scotch, they travel to Golden Grove, place second, and host Hope Valley, place 5th. So good luck with that. Their battle for the 5, Hope Valley get Mitcham and Scotch. Decent chance at 2 wins there, and if that's the case, Hope Valley will get the finals berth. The games this week in the 9 News Division 3, Golden Grove and Scotch should be one-way traffic. Kenilworth and Brighton should be a bit more close, favourites to Brighton. Goodwood Saints and Flinders Park, the game of the round, first versus third at the Goodwood Oval. And Mitcham hosting Hope Valley, that's 7th versus 5th. That is a virtual knockout final for both sides, particularly if Mitcham don't win, they're gone. Hope Valley, if they win, have almost got that finals berth locked up. The reserves of the Cinderella Commercial Clean Division 2, Tea Tree Gully, one of their closest games all year, 3 points over Flinders Park, Brighton over Henley. Goodwood led Gazer, that game was abandoned, and not sure how that's going to play out with ladders and so forth. Golden Grove the bye. The ladder we've got currently has Tea Tree Gully from Flinders Park, Goodwood and Golden Grove. 2.5 games ahead of Henley, Brighton and Gazer with 2 games left. That 4 is settled. Just a case of who out of Flinders Park, Goodwood and Golden Grove finishes in second spot, and with that the double chance. In the reserves, the matches this week, Henley versus Golden Grove. Unfortunately Golden Grove already locked in a final spot. Tea Tree Gully and Brighton at Brighton. Goodwood Saints and Flinders Park. Check that venue for Tea Tree Gully and Brighton. Goodwood Saints and Flinders Park is 3rd versus 2nd. That's going to be the game of the round. Gazer get to sit it out. Cinderella's Commercial Cleaning Division 2 League. Gazer and Henley, no result. Blackfriars advised as yet. Blackfriars by 28 to maintain league leadership. Anglevale by 3. So this ladder is a bit askew. Blackfriars on top. Gazer, we don't know. Anglevale and Flinders. Henley in the 4 at Flinders' expense. Again, we don't know. Tea Tree Gully just setting 1.5 wins out of it. With 2 games to go, they're going to need everything to go their way to jump over both Henley and Flinders University. The league games coming up, Blackfriars and Anglevale. In fact, we'll do the run home first. Blackfriars, you can see there, Anglevale and Flinders Uni to finish it. Henley and Flinders, hopefully that game is the one that sorts out who plays finals. As we look at the games this week, Blackfriars and Anglevale, 1st versus 3rd will be great. Henley and Flinders critical, 5th versus 4th in a final 4. And Tea Tree Gully and Gazer will be a big game there at Pertaringa. We go to the BuddyBet Division 1 and the Rezzies. Happy Valley shut out by Paynham at the Valley. Broadview over Adelaide Uni by 6 and Smosh over Morganville Park by 4 goals. Have a look at these BuddyBet ladders. Just a logjam. What have we got? 4 teams on 5 wins. Paynham and Smosh are in the finals. It is a final 5. It comes down to percentage at the moment, and Happy Valley are well out of it. 1 team on 5 and 5 at this point is going to miss the finals. To the league, the BuddyBet Division 1 League, Happy Valley 6 points over Paynham, reversing the reserves result. Broadview over Adelaide Uni by 9. Morphy Parks, they look the premiership favourites at the moment. 7-goal winners over Smosh West Lakes and Old Ignatians, again with the bye. The ladder here is no less complex than the reserves. Every team is still in the hunt. Morphettville Park and Happy Valley have booked their finals tickets. Smosh are almost there. The other 4, well, it comes down to percentage. 2 of those 4 will get in, 2 will miss. The run home for them, let's have a look. Old Ignatians, Morphy Parks and Happy Valley, that's tough. The top 2 teams in the comp. Payneham, Adelaide Uni and Smosh. Yep, Adelaide Uni, well, they have to beat Payneham this weekend and hope nothing goes awry because they have to buy in the final round. And Broadview have 3rd and 1st. Gee, not really sure who I'd take there. I'd probably take Payneham and yeah, I'm not sure whether Old Ignatians or Broadview because they've all got some difficult games. Including the matches this weekend, the reserves and league and the doubleheader. Morphettville Park and Old Iggies. Payneham and Adelaide Uni must win for Uni, possibly their last game of the season. And Broadview and Smosh at Broadview will be a great battle. This time it's the Vikings of Happy Valley that sit and watch it all occur. Alrighty, that is a wrap of the women's competitions. Lots happening. Some teams playing their final game this weekend. Others looking forward towards finals. We've got some big games coming up. We'll cover it all here on Between the Posts. I'm Phil Herden saying we'll be back same time next week. Enjoy your footy and back to the show.
Districts to kick a couple in a row and put some real scoreboard pressure. They're out by 7 points, 34-27. Here's an opportunity for Niskahoos if he can pick it up on the left foot around the corner. That is goal for the player of the game. It is goal today. Gee whiz, I gave that a build up and he didn't let me down, Jason Niskahoos. Left footer. Just pulled it a little bit too much. Ah! The mark of the day without any dip.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
All right, let's have a look now at what's been happening around the league. Dee has sent me through the latest information. First of all, Channel 9 went out to North Haven Footy Club last Thursday, where a couple of people had a chance, Brett and Maddie, to kick into the bin. Unfortunately for them, like everyone else, they weren't able to nail it. So that prize is still up for grab, but Tom Wren certainly presented, courtesy of the Police Credit Union, a $500 cheque to the North Haven Footy Club. And the Power Aid Award went to Dean Woods. Dean has been a committed member of the North Haven Football Club for a long time. This year he's involved in 4 teams, from coaching and managing juniors, senior women's and the men's D grade. So well done to Dean Woods. Keep an eye on our socials this week for the next 9 News live club visit. It'll be this week at the Salisbury North Footy Club. And the BuddyBet Division One best on ground from last Saturday's live stream game was Sam Gray from the Port Districts Football Club. Sam won a $100 Moseley voucher. Luke McInerney won the team player of the day, and he won a $100 voucher from the New Balance, thanks to Belgravia Sports. And Jason Niskahoos won the Simon Black Academy Play of the Day, and he won a carton of Powerade and some Archie thongs. So well done to those guys. And this week for the West End Player of the Week, round 11, head over to the league's Facebook page to get voting for this week's round 12 nominations, I should say. And we've been told there is a few cartons from previous rounds.
But Mahuta goes all the way. Where again, Mahuta?
Good grab by Anjana, then Crone late. It's Anjana the Grey. Anjana.
Hillholders went home best. Life on the wire, Twitchy Frank. Classic legend, Wild Planet kicking back, Crone dashing through, will beat the lot of them, Crone!
Larfalay's coming out, and they reach the line, nearly a dead heat. But this is speedy and professional. Profiteer for Mickey D is going to win easily.
Herden continued to open them up late and won very impressively.
Well, that's it, folks. I made it through. Gotta say, it ended up being a lot tougher than I thought it would be, hosting this show by myself. Tony, where are you, mate? Might have to get someone else to come in and give me a hand. If you're sitting out there and you're bored, you want something to do next week, give me a call. I'm looking for a co-host. I want to thank everyone who was on our show tonight, in particular our guests from Salisbury North and Central United, and wish them all the best this week in their NAIDOC round games. Should be terrific games. We are live streaming 3 games this week. Salisbury North versus Unley in Division 2, and in Division 6, Central United versus Para Hills. And I think all 3 of those games are actually going to be commentated as well as live streamed, so tune in to that. Don't forget to follow us on social media. And remember one thing, folks, wherever you may be, when you're having a shot, see if you can get him to go straight between the posts.